Dragon Ballers, if you're looking to buy Dragon Ball Super or One Piece sealed product, make sure to get 5% off using my link to Mystic TCG down in the description. You can also sell cards to them using their Facebook link, which is also down in the description. Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to go over the new cards coming out in the Goku Black Ultimate deck in May, which I'm actually really excited for, especially after doing some research for this video. Now, this is something that I've learned in my career making Dragon Ball Super content, and it's just a piece of wisdom that I want to impart onto you guys. Let the cards settle for a bit before you make such harsh judgments, because I saw a lot of people saying the leader sucked when it was first revealed, and maybe it wasn't the best leader ever, but the cards they showed after that bring the whole picture together and make it look a lot better. And when you do some deeper diving, there are some pretty cool cards you can play in this deck. We'll talk about that all in today's video, but yeah, I always like to wait for the cards to settle for a bit. Obviously, the full set to be shown. I don't like to base judgment just off leaders or single battle cards. You never know what ties an entire theme or deck together. So that's just my 2 cents, but we'll talk about that in today's video. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. Let's just jump right on in, of course, starting with the leader. So we have the set 2 Goku Black leader being rebooted here. Let's see what he does. On the unawakened side, auto once per turn. When one of your Zamasu or Goku Black battle card attacks, draw 1. Now, this is an effect that a lot of people were dogging on this leader for. Don't forget that the old leader did not draw any cards on the unawakened side. So the fact this leader even has a way to draw is clearly an upgrade from the old leader. Yes, it's a bit awkward. You have to attack with a battle card, but I mean, how long are you really on your unawakened side? For maybe 1 to 2 turns? So activate main once per turn. If you have 2 or more energy, add 1 card from your life to your energy, and you can't place cards in your energy for the turn. Then at the end of the turn, place 1 of your energy in your drop. Awaken relates to 4 or less, or you have a blue Zamasu Z battle card with energy cost of 3 in play. Draw 2 cards, add cards from life to hand till you have 6 life left, and flip over. So with a 3 cost Z battle card in play, you can awaken on turn 2 as long as that's what you dedicate all your energy for. And the Z battle card's pretty good. We'll see that in a little bit. Obviously, we have the regular awakened leader. We have auto once per turn. One of your Zamasu or Goku Black cards attacks, draw 1. So notice that just says Goku Black cards. So now you will get draws when you swing with your leader. But there's actually some cool sequencing stuff you can do where you attack with a battle card on your regular leader side and then Z awaken and then swing with your Z leader and get an additional draw. That's a pretty cool sequencing that you can do here, which is you know, a nice thing added by the oddness of the wording here. Activating once per turn, add 1 card from life to energy, and you can't place cards in your energy for the turn. Then at the end of the turn, place 1 of your energy in the drop, pretty standard. And then we have the Z leader. So you probably want to go to your Z leader just about every single game. You know, not all decks go to their Z leader all the time, especially when the Z leader costs an energy. But this is where you stop taking energy from your life and start actually preserving your life total. So we have Dark Purple Sickle, which I think is kind of a weird name. But anyways, Z awaken for a blue when your life's at 4 or less. Auto once per turn. When one of your Zamasu or Goku Black cards attacks, draw 1. The other nice thing about the effect like this, being the auto not triggering on a leader swing, is that you can swing with any Goku Black or Zamasu card and not worry as much about getting floodgated, because there are a lot of scenarios, especially against yellow, where you are heavily debating, do I attack my leader first to get my auto, and then do I like lose a Flying Nimbus, or do I attack with a battle card first and lose some other sort of floodgate? Now you have to worry about that much less. You can go with whatever attack makes most sense and not worry about missing your leader draw. Activate main once per turn, add 1 Goku Black from your Z energy to your energy, and you can't place cards in your energy for the turn. Then at the end of the turn, place 1 of your energy in your drop. Activate battle once per turn if life's at 2 or less, and you have a Goku Black in your Z energy. This card gets plus 5,000 power and double strike for the battle. We've seen many effects like this that basically have some sort of like ultimate game-ending double strike ability. Like the one that comes to mind is the red Android 13 Z leader. You have to have like all 3 different androids in your Z energy to get plus 5k double strike for the turn. Now this doesn't get 5k for the turn, but just having a Goku Black in your Z energy is a very easy thing to meet. So offensively and defensively, you at least get 5k one time, and offensively it's got double strike. So that I think is pretty good. So overall, once you get to the Z leader, I think it is very good, and I think they kept true to the thematics of this leader with this reboot. All right, now we have the Z battle cards. We have SS Rose Goku Black serving justice. We have a 2-drop 10k permanent. If it's your opponent's turn and this card is under a blue Zamasu battle card, the card on top of this gets plus 15,000 power. So that obviously works with the Zamasu serving justice. We'll see in a second, but I think that should also work with like Union Fusions. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but that should put this under Zamasu's, which will get a power buff. I don't think most of the Zamasus are blockers anyway, but at least it does protect a little bit against red, which, you know, blue Indestructible's weakness is being -0. So having that power buff does give it some extra range against red. Auto when this card attacks, use 1 mono blue god with 5,000 combo from your drop in a combo and negate its skills for the turn. So there is a wording error here that a lot of people have pointed out. We've seen stuff like this with like the Universe 6 blue yellow deck from whenever Cabo was printed, maybe like set 16. This combos the card before it negates the skills, and that actually allows on combo autos to go into pending. So this will probably receive some sort of errata, although I did comb through the card database. There's nothing really good to use this with. There's no real abuse case that I was able to find. Again, if you have something, drop it down in the comments. But while this is a wording error and definitely not how it's intended to work, yeah, there's not gonna be much that comes broken off this in my opinion. But anyways, activate main. If your leader is a Goku Black, play this card from under a Zamasu Z battle card. So let's read Zamasu Serving Justice, 3-drop, 1 Z energy. They're getting a lot better at making these vital Z cards cost less Z energy, which I think is a good thing overall, because whenever you have to combo 2 cards for an engine starter like this, it definitely makes the deck a lot worse because you're literally just losing 1 card for no reason. At least Zamasu Serving Justice with the 1 Z energy cost, you can kind of think of it as just being played from hand in a sense. But anyways, Deflect, Z stack 1, blue Goku Black with energy cost of 2. Permanent, if your leader is a Goku Black, this card gains Indestructible and Blocker. Auto, when one of your energy is placed in your drop by your leader's skill, switch card to active mode at the end of the turn. So swing with it for 15 on your turn. During your opponent's turn, it's an Indestructible 30k blocker. Solid card for 3 energy. Makes the deck very defensive inherently, especially just being blue. It's already defensive, and this adds to that for sure. Alright, then we have some specific Goku Black cards being printed in the deck. We have SS Rose Goku Black Shining Illusion, 2-drop 15k counter attack, negate the attack and play this card. If it's your opponent's turn and your leader is a Z leader, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. And then auto for a blue. If your leader is a blue Goku Black, when this card's played, draw 1 card, play 1 shadow token, and this card or that card gains blocker for the turn. So in Goku Black specifically, this can generate an additional blocker token, and drawing cards also very nice. Does cost 2 energy, but that seems appropriate for all the defense you're getting out of this. But what's cool too is if you're a blue Z leader, this is a 1 cost negate. That's actually pretty interesting too, and it's 15k. Definitely not bad. SS Rose Goku Black, Justice of Destruction. I think this is the card that came out that had a lot of people changing their tune about Goku Black. Let's give it a read. 5-drop 20k critical, counter, limit 1. Negate the counter, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of their deck, and then play this card. Auto, when this card's played, choose one of your blue Zamasu cards with energy cost of 7 and switch it to active mode. And then activate main limit 1 for 2 blue. If your energy is 5 or more, you have a Zamasu with Indestructible in play. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of their deck, and then play this card from your hand. So not only is it a counter, it is a 2-drop 20k critical essentially. But now let's talk about that counter, because that is the big point of contention with this card. Blue has gotten a secondary baby Golden Avenger, if you want to go that far. The cards do operate a bit differently. I mean, stats wise, they're much different. Golden Avenger is much more of a game ender, 30k triple strike compared to this card's 20k critical. So it's not as threatening in that sense. But what's kind of cool about this card is it kills something ignoring barrier in the counter step, which does give it a unique upside compared to Golden Avenger. Golden Avenger, if something happens to it where it does not successfully get played, like if it gets responded to by some sort of counter play, I guess, which is kind of rare, but can sometimes happen, you can lose your ability to kill the card. And that's where Goku Black here has a very interesting upside. And now, of course, the rest of it is tied to being a Goku Black and Zamasu strategy. So you might want Golden Avenger for, again, its bigger stats and its unlikeness to get counterplayed. But this is cool because it has that sort of built-in effect protection. I think there will be some deck building decisions as whether you play Golden Avenger or Rose Goku Black, Justice of Destruction. Also, Golden Avenger is 10k. This is 5k. That's also somewhat relevant. But yeah, cool thing here. I do like the fact we're getting another option. It's a great thing that it does not cost 4. Like, it's really good they kept it at the 5 cost specifically for blue to be able to counter. I do think that was a very, very good idea. And the limit 1 is decent future proofing for stuff like Baby Unknown Parasite. That was a pretty good catch on their part. Alright, now we have some more cards for the deck. We have Goku Black Fake Protagonist. We have a 2-drop 10k super combo. So the deck does have its own super combo. If it is blue, your life's at 4 or less. When this card is used in a combo, choose one. You can either draw 1 or add a Breaking Taboo from your deck to your hand and shuffle your deck. Now, let's see what Breaking a Taboo does and see if it's worth playing the super combo just to search it. We have a 1 cost extra card, counterplay limit 1. If your leader is a blue Goku Black and it's your opponent's turn, choose one of your Zamasu cards and switch it to active mode, and then add this card from your drop to your Z energy. So you're not actually stopping the play of anything, but you can restand your Z battle card Zamasu blocker. That doesn't seem too bad, although counter play timing is a little bit awkward because if your opponent plays around this, they might not give you the opportunity to restand the card at a good time. But it is, the fact that it goes right to your Z energy is kind of cool. I do kind of like that. We have 2 more effects though. Activate main for 2 blue and 3 colorless, but keep in mind to use this activate main, you will have to pay the 1 original energy, so it's actually a 6 energy play. If your leader is Zamasu or Goku Black and you choose one of your mono blue Zamasu or Goku Black cards with energy cost of 5 or more, play 1 Infinite Force Fuse Zamasu from your hand on top of the chosen card. So you're able to cheat out Infinite Force Fuse Zamasu for 1 less energy than its normal Union Potara cost. That is okay. I mean, to be honest with you, Infinite Force Fuse Zamasu should be like a turn 6 play, because once this card comes down, if you're not facing a red deck or something that can negate skills, this card is inevitability. It ends the game eventually because it starts burning their life. I will say though, yellow now has a pretty good answer to this in the form of Goku and Vegeta Ultimate Duo. That leads me to another point actually, where a lot of people are giving this deck flack because they've printed both a Trunks and a black generic Zeno that negate indestructible and destroy cards. Yes, those cards exist. I mean, indestructible has been unchecked for 20 sets. Not that indestructible has been a huge problem, but it's fine that they finally printed indestructible hate. And are people really going to play those cards just to counter this one deck they may never play against? Like, it really depends on how popular this deck becomes, and unfortunately if this deck becomes really popular, it'll be checked by those cards. But if this is just one of the random blue rogue decks, I mean, I would not worry about those cards specifically countering this. I just don't see people dedicating their sideboards to them. Blue Trunks decks will play that Trunks that kills this card. That's unfortunate, but I mean, hey, every deck's got bad matchups, right? Last effect on breaking a taboo: activate battle, place this card from your Z energy into your drop. So that effect should be free because it's not being used from your hand, I think. Use up to 1 mono blue Goku Black with 5,000 combo from your drop in a combo and negated skills for the turn. Okay, that's pretty cool actually. So after the counterplay, you do get a free 5k combo out of the whole deal. That's not bad either. But again, this card might be tough to pull off if your opponent plays around it. If it was a counter attack, that might be a little bit better. That'd actually be a lot better. But yeah, we'll see if this card is actually worth playing. I'm not quite sure on this one yet. Alright, then we have Fuse Zamasu. The power of the gods is complete. 6 drop, 20k, indestructible blocker, Union Potara. If your leader is a Zamasu or Goku Black, blue Zamasu Z battle card with energy cost of 3 and I guess any Goku Black, and that is a free Union Potara. That's interesting. When a blue Zamasu with energy cost of 7 is placed on top of this card, switch one of your energy to active mode at the end of the turn. Auto, when one of your energy is placed in your drop by your leader skill, switch this card to active mode at the end of the turn. Then we have Fuse Zamasu striving for perfect order. We have a 7 drop double strike indestructible blocker, EX evolve for 2 if you have 4 or more energy, blue Zamasu with energy cost of 6. So overall, I mean, pretty cheap plays here. The first thing fuses for free, this evolves for 2. Auto limit 1 when this card attacks or one of your Goku Black is added to your Z energy, draw 1 card, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards and place at the bottom of the owner's deck. That is really, really good because that means any Goku Black you combo during your opponent's turn is now a pseudo super combo, and you're also removing a battle card. So like, yeah, maybe it's a good thing that indestructible hate, because this card sticking on the board forever is just an infinite resource generator. This card is really, really good. Auto, if your leader's a blue Goku Black and it's your turn, when one of your energy is placed in your drop by your leader's skill, switch this card to active mode at the end of the turn. So you get to swing with it, get it back, restanding for a blocker. These 2 cards both seem really, really good to me. All right, then finishing up the actual new cards, we have SS Rose Goku Black, Close Combat, 3 drop, 20k critical. If you have 4 or more energy, you have a Zamasu with indestructible in play. Reduce energy cost of this card in your hand by 2, 1 drop, 20k, that's great. Auto limit 1 when this card's played, look up to 5 cards on top of your deck, add up to 1 blue Zamasu or Goku Black to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Okay, a 20k critical cantrip. Like, yeah, it's not usable till pretty much turn 4, but this card is also really, really good. Zuno Convergence of Knowledge. We have an on play draw 1, auto limit 1 if your leader's Goku Black. When you add this card to your Z energy, you may place this card from your Z in your drop, and if you do, add 1 Goku Black from your drop to your Z energy. I believe Gowasu shares the same auto, so they do fix your Z energy, but to be honest, I don't think these cards are needed for the deck to function in any real way. I don't think, at least from first glance. Maybe I'm wrong. But then Gowasu, when played, look at top 5, add a blue god with a cost of 6 or less. and then shuffle your deck. So two different cantrips that can help fix your energy with Goku Blacks. But again, I don't think you really need these cards to make the deck function. They probably won't fit in the competitive build of the deck anyway. But that should wrap up all the new cards. Now I want to talk about some outside support that'll also work well in this deck. Of course, there's Goku Black Immortals Will Be Gone, one of the most popular cards in blue right now. Not going to spend time talking about it. But a cool one that I noticed is Goku Black Countdown to Destruction. We have a 3-drop 10k permanent. When you have 5 or more energy, you can play this card from your hand without paying its energy cost, and then auto when this card's played. If your leader is a Goku Black or Zamasu card, draw 1 card, and you can't play Goku Black Countdown to Destruction for the duration of the turn. So this is a free cantrip that makes perfect Z energy because it's again a free cantrip. It's almost like a pseudo combo, but you just have to go through the process of playing the card first, which, like, it's a free card. So like if they counterplay it, I honestly think you're not going to care too much about that. And then there's Goku Black Rose Lofty Aspirations, which Countdown to Destruction also sets up for, and this card nukes your opponent's energy if they have 5 or more. So yeah, really solid cards. Just needed a better leader to kind of facilitate them. This might be the leader to do that. Next, I want to talk about Zamasu Teamwork Undying, a really good unison, but only playable in very specific strategies. We're seeing this card played currently in the Expert Deck 21 builds, but for now we have a 3-drop 19k unison blocker. Counterattack doesn't really matter. We're probably never going to Spirit Boost it. +1 auto when a card in your energy is placed in the owner's drop area. Draw 1, then switch this card to active mode. So solid +1. You'll be able to resolve that every single turn. And the activate main here is really cool. So pay 2 if there's a Goku Black under this, and you remove 7 markers from this card and place it in the owner's drop. Choose 1 Infinite Force Fuse Zamasu in your hand or energy and play it. So this is going to be able to cheat out Infinite Force Fuse Zamasu, I believe, for the cheapest amount possible. But the one problem is you got to play Goku Black Works Undone. Now I think this card is absolutely terrible, except for that activate main at the end there. Limit 1 if your leader's a Goku Black only card. You choose 1 Zamasu Teamwork Undying in your unison area. Add a marker to the chosen card, then place this card from under it from your battle area. So the first 2 effects are terrible. You don't ever really want to use them, but getting this thing under your unison to then play Infinite Force for essentially 4 energy, because it's the 2 energy you invest into Works Undone and then the 2 energy you invest into the activate main of Zamasu Unison, that seems really, really good. So maybe you play just 1 to 2 copies of Works Undone to make that happen. But yeah, that does seem really, really good. You will also want to be tucking extra copies of this Zamasu under itself to basically accelerate the speed at which you can play Infinite Force. But if you can do that, I think it's honestly worth it, because that means you might be able to play Infinite Force by like turn 5 for 4 energy. That seems like a really good way to do that, in my opinion. And now this is what I am honestly most excited for. I have had my eye on Majin Buu Tide Turning Absorption ever since it came out, because it's very generic. But set 10 Zamasu wasn't consistent enough at setting this off. But this card, here's what it does. Auto if your leader is blue. When this card in your energy area is placing your drop by your leader card's skill, play this card from your drop. Then place 1 blue or up to 1 blue Gotenks with energy cost of 4 or less from your deck in your drop, and then shuffle your deck. So just for playing this card, it essentially becomes a free play after you pitch an energy. So every time you use your leader effect, this is going to just be able to be played, which makes this thing really efficient Z energy. Now the activate main here is a little bit harder to pull off, because you'll typically play this card, this Buu, at the end of your own turn, meaning it'll have to survive a turn, but if it does, then you can use the activate main here. Pay a blue, send this card to the owner's warp, then choose 1 Prodigious Absorption Majin Buu in your energy area, play the chosen card, and if you do, place top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode. Now Prodigious Absorption Majin Buu is a 20k barrier. If you have a Gotenks under it, you can play a Majin token once per turn, which have 15k power and 5k combo power. So yeah, the whole like Prodigious Absorption part might be too much to ask for, although if you can pull it off, I mean, a 1-drop 20k barrier threat is really good. But yeah, I think just having the Buu be played for free and become potential Z energy, I personally think is good enough. That seems really good to me. And this is the one that I'm most excited for. Like I said, I've had my eye on this card for a long time. I hope it ends up being good in this deck. But anyways, guys, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully everything you need to know to play Goku Black. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this deck now that we've seen all the cards. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.